tears in my eyes. I woke up and I found that I'd received a text message from my bank informing me if I don't put £17 into my bank account by 3 o'clock, I'll incur an £8 charge. I couldn't figure out why. It dawned on me, money's gone out of my account. But I had no direct debits going out on the 20th, which was my birthday, which means I'm 59 years old. And quite a few birthdays I spent on my own, but that's beside the point. So I quickly got dressed, and as I was about to put on my miniature rucksack, I realised something. All the pain I would have to incur to get from where I live to the bus stop, down to the bus station, then the bus station to Westbourne. Now, you may wonder, I live in Poole, so why don't I go to the bank in Poole? Quite simply is to come back by bus from the bank, I'd have to stand up for about 10 or 20 minutes continuously, because there's no seat, so to speak, and I have to incur a large amount of pain in not only in my knees but in my shins, because the arthritis has spread into my shins now, and also the osteoarthritis. So I got to Westbourne, found out I had forgotten I had set up a standing order. Why have I forgotten? Because my brother, Stephen Tyrrell, is choosing not to give me £3,500 so I could buy myself, or at least put a deposit down for a mobility vehicle to ease off the pain and my osteoarthritis in my legs. So he is in fact denying me the right to remove up to at least 80% of the pain from osteoarthritis in both my knees and in my calves. So knees down to my feet, total. That's how much painful it is. And I quickly phoned up the person to reverse the payment, put the payment back into my account, which he did do. He's very accommodating. He's my web designer. And I come out of the bank. I went down to the shop, bought some milk. And as I walked through the shop looking for the milk, I almost began to cry. The pain is that unbearable. And as I have suicidal thoughts every day, I had, when I'd left the store, which was Marks and Spencer's in Westbourne, I think it's Marks and Spencer's. I can never remember the name of the store, but it's by the car park. So I'm walking over, and there's a main road that I need to cross to get to the bus stop. And I stood on the curb, and I waited patiently. I realised the car would not really kill me. It would probably injure me, probably cripple me, if it did hit me. Motorbike waste of time. So I realised that the only thing I can wait for would be a large lorry. But as I waited patiently for a large lorry to turn up so I could walk in front and kill myself, tears appeared in my eyes. Because now I have the choice. Can I manage to cope with the excruciating pain 24/7? Because my brother Stephen Till is refusing to give me the £3,500 that he so-called left my mother so-called left me, so I can buy a mobility vehicle. And he won't buy the vehicle. He won't give me the money because he's already spent the £3,500. That's why he's paying me £25 a week. So I tend to cry when I get at home. I tend to cry at night time, sometimes in the afternoon. I cry when I'm asleep. In my dreams, I am crying a lot. And this is my first experience of pure hatred. Stephen Till is a sadist. He knows I'm in excruciating pain. But he doesn't give a damn. Because he spent the £3,500. The money my mother left me. So he not only has he betrayed her last wishes, he's crucifying me, so to speak. And because the pain is now increasing, because I'm lying in bed at the moment, and I'm getting, my knees are locking, because I can't do the exercise, I can't do the walking because the pain is too much. And when I leave my flat and I go out, I'm 95% close to walking in front of a car or a bus. I don't do a train because it's too far to walk. It'd be too painful. I only think of walking in front of a train when I need to catch a train somewhere. I never realised this would happen to me. How a person can change considerably when money plays a part. So yes, I felt like crying today in my expenses. I felt like bursting out crying like a baby. There's no one to ask. I mean, I'm a schizophrenic. Who will believe a schizophrenic compared to someone who's worked all their lives, has no mental illness or disability? People are going to believe my brother rather than believe me. And that's how devastating it is. I wanted to make a lot of videos over the summer months, but it would mean risking me committing suicide. So I can't, in a sense, go to places where I'm in danger, so to speak. I'm finding it very hard to resist. The food I eat is unhealthy for me. If I had the money my mother had intended to give me, I could buy fruit. I could maybe go on a good diet, get motivation, go to a gym, experience excruciating pain, but hopefully lose some weight. But I can't. I can't afford to go to a gym on a regular basis because I'll have to pay. Because I tried to get a free before because I'm disabled. Never happened. And so life for me is wanting to kill myself every day and wanting to burst into tears. I mean, who will believe me? in the year 2000, when I spoke to my elderly mother, who was living in a 3-bedroom house. Mother, I'm very depressed, suicidal. Can I come back to the family home? She said no. So then she phoned my brother up, Stephen Tyrrell. He left an out voice on my answer machine which stated that if I caused our mother any problems whatsoever, he would drive down from Manchester and he would put me in hospital. I played the answer machine message to a solicitor I knew at the time, and we took out a restraining order on him. When I told my mother, she didn't believe me. Why didn't she believe me? Because my brother Stephen convinced her it's my imagination. Because he has diagnosed me as a paranoid schizophrenic. So whatever happened in my life, either I imagined it or I caused it myself. That's why my mother made him executive of her estate. He's that convincing, he is that manipulative. She made the biggest mistake in arranging for me to get money through him. She was 90 years old when she died. She was old and frail. That's what I got after that with. So even if I went to the newspapers and told them my story, they would go to my brother Stephen Tyrrell and ask him inside the story, and he'd be so convincing, so manipulative, so bullshitting with the proof, they wouldn't believe me. Why wouldn't they believe me? I'm a schizophrenic, it doesn't take medication. My brother has had the perfect life. Me, on the other hand, I've had it shite shoved down my mouth on a regular basis. Not only from strangers, but when your family abort you from the family, life can only get worse. But I've survived this long. I make videos for several people. I create a large amount of audio files. But at the end of the day, my brother has won. And when I do eventually obtain some sleeping pills from my doctor, I will go down to Dartmoor. Once I've made my will, I will go down to Dartmoor and find a very secluded spot. I will dig my own grave. Make sure it's deep enough. I should prepare in such a way that once I've taken the sleeping pills, I've become extremely, very, very drowsy. I would set up so that I can kick the poles out from the side and the soil would run in, and I would slowly die. And I don't particularly want to die. I want to give in to my brother, but who will believe me? Nobody will believe me. My mother didn't even believe me when I told her about what my brother said he would do. So yeah, I want to cry a lot, cry every day. I want to commit suicide every day. There was no joy at the moment living in the flat I live in at the moment. What I may even do is buy a good waterproof tent and probably disappear in Dartmoor. Wander around in Dartmoor, camping. In the winter time, I've done it before. My old neighbour, John Stacey, who threatened to kill me on a regular basis, One Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I was in a tent to avoid his death threats. And nobody believed me then. So I'm screwed no matter what I do. And so I don't particularly want to live in a tent for the rest of my life, somewhere in Dartmoor. But at least eventually my money will run out. And no money and no food, no energy. But I will eventually get the sleeping pills when this time occurs, so I can die relatively peacefully. Because this is an unbearable existence. I have been depressed all my life to a degree, but this is a different kind of torture. I mean, you ask yourself this question. You know your brother or sister is in excruciating pain. You know helping them to get a mobility vehicle, either buy it or rent it, so to speak, hire it. But you say no. You hold back the £3,500 that you know they can use to ease their pain. What kind of person does that to a disabled brother or sister, disabled relative? I mean, he doesn't need the money himself. So would you say this guy is a sadist? I would say yes. Would you say he enjoys torturing me? I would say yes. When I told him about I needed another £10 a week on top of the £25 a week, his arrogant, conceited brain has told him, and has told me, he agreed first of all to pay the £10, but he didn't pay it. So when I asked him, why did you change your mind? I would like the money, please. The extra £10. His reply was, eat less and move more. Eat less and move more. That's his reply. I was asking him for help, and all I was getting was eat less and move more. He has no concept, no compassion. He has no idea what osteoarthritis does to a person when they experience it 24/7 in their kneecaps. He is like a Gestapo, an SS officer in the concentration camp, Second World War. Because I know what it was like to be in a concentration camp. He tortures me 24/7 by withholding the money. And I can't do nothing about it. People will never believe me, even if I gave to people the evidence. How many of you people that are listening to this audio have been aborted from your family? When your mother becomes ill, you cannot ask any doctor about how's the illness affecting or how she had a good day today, because they'll say, sorry sir, who are you? I'm a son of the family. I'm sorry sir, but there's no name of you on the next of kin, so I can't talk to you about it. Or when I go and visit my mother once, and I said to a nurse, sorry nurse, but can you tell me how my mother is today? She said to me, sorry sir, who are you? I say, I'm Peter, I'm Mrs. Till's other son. And my name has been removed from next of kin. And when my brother arranges the cremation for my mother, I'm not included in any of the arrangements whatsoever. And on the day of the cremation, my brother said to me, if I want to say something, I can. But prior to this, he had a program printed where Samantha Till and Warren Till will say a few words, but the point is, He never asked me. So how come I'm excluded? I mean, that's how they treat. Okay, I have a diagnosis of schizophrenia. I have a diagnosis of epilepsy. I'm partly blind. And I have osteoarthritis. And in his eyes, that makes me an individual of low intelligence, a moron. Someone who does not have rights. So one day, people may hear my audio when I've already died, and they'll say to themselves, "Well, he should have went to someone." But the point is, I've already done it, and no one gives a damn. People in a situation, people of authority who would know what to do or should know what to do, don't. So the title of this audio is Tears in My Eyes. And it's part of Hangman I Am series. So I hope you've enjoyed. And remember one thing. If a relative becomes disabled, don't ostracize them from the family. Don't abort them from the family. It's not their fault. So don't be Hitler, where you want to gas them. Take care.